Good evening. I'm Pedro Hazel Jr.
I'm Steve Ferguson.
Welcome to the PedroFergie Sportscorner. Tonight we'll be discussing the Mets, Yankees, Jets, and Giants, and more. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. The internet address is youtube.com/@PedroFergie Sportscorner. That's all one word. Again, it's youtube.com/@PedroFergie Sportscorner, all one word. The Mets have been struggling big time for the last 3 weeks. Yesterday, they beat the Seattle Mariners 3-1 yesterday for only the third time in the last 17 games. They are 5 games behind the division-leading Phillies and Cincinnati Reds leading the Cincinnati Reds by 1.5 games in the final wild card spot at 65 and 58. They're hosting the Mariners tonight in the ESPN Sunday night game of the week in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Right now, they're leading 6-1. Then they travel to D.C. starting Tuesday to play the Nationals and travel to Atlanta next weekend. Steve, what happened to all those players the Mets got in the trade deadline? I mean, it's just a nightmare.
That's a great way of describing it, Pedro. It has been almost a month of complete nightmarish baseball. Every imaginable way to lose games, the Mets have done it.
Murphy's Law, again.
And the sad part is everything that we talked about how the Mets need more relief pitching, how they need a center fielder. I give David Stearns credit. He got those players. I couldn't believe when he got Rogers from the Giants, when he got Helsley from the Cardinals, when he got another pitcher, Gregory Soto from the Orioles. Mm-hmm. The only one of them who has pitched like a major leaguer lately is Gregory Soto.
Yeah.
The relief pitcher from the Cardinals, Ryan Helsley, has been hell on earth to watch for the last month. I am glad that he is a free agent after this year because the Mets do not have to keep this guy, and I would advise them not to. Rogers is the underhand submariner, very similar to a pitcher back in the 70s, and you may remember this name, Dan Quisenberry.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think his problem is twofold. Number one, when he gets ahead of hitters, he needs to be less honest in throwing strikes. Mm-hmm. Throw the ball close to the plate, make them chase.
Yes.
He'd be tougher to hit. He's too honest throwing strikes.
Yeah.
And a lot of pitchers who are control pitchers make that mistake. Mm-hmm. You get ahead, you can get guys to chase.
Interesting.
And secondly, I have a problem with the way our pitch counts are being called, our sequencing. This is Jeremy Hefner's problem.
Yeah, we were looking at that because a lot of these pitches, they're not lasting past 5 innings.
That's right.
4 innings, 5 innings, they're beginning to hit the pitchers after that.
Yeah.
It's probably they got to just change their sequence because usually a lot of these pitchers they're facing them 3-4 times in a game.
That's correct.
So you got to change your sequence.
Right. And
throw people off a little bit.
Case in point is Clay Holmes, who has actually been a very good starting pitcher for the Mets, going for his 10th win tonight against 6 or 7 losses. Here's the problem that he has. He was a former closer. He's an excellent pitcher with the sinker and slider. To his credit, he added 3 new pitches to his repertoire. He added a kick change, which is an interesting pitch that's thrown off your fingers a little differently than a regular changeup. And he's added a curveball, and he has a very good changeup. He's added those 3 pitches. Yeah. He also worked his tail off to make the club this year. Yeah. He started his spring training, for those of you who don't know, in January, before the Mets even got to camp. Yeah. Give him credit. He has been one of our best starting pitchers. But what I noticed tonight in the game against the Mariners, the 4th inning came, and we're very lucky he didn't blow the lead.
Oh, yeah. Bases loaded with 2 out.
This is where he's been getting in trouble. Part of it has to do with the fact that he's still learning how to start. He probably can go no more than 80 to 100 pitches, which means in the offseason he'll have to work on more conditioning to be able to pitch 100, 120 pitches if necessary. But I think the sequencing of pitches is equally important.
Oh, yes. And people forget that, the sequencing. You think, you just pitch, but you have to people also have to remember how you sequence this, that, you
Right.
know.
Where
That's
you
a lot of
throw them
people.
and
Yeah.
how you throw them.
Yeah, you know, and when you throw them,
And when you
and
throw
the
them.
sequence
Correct.
pitch, you know, so you have to kind of like, you know, change the pitch count.
Change the way you pitch. Like if I'm watching him pitch tonight, for example, the first 3 innings, he was terrific.
Yeah.
They were not touching him. I think he gave up 1 hit the first 3 innings. The 4th inning came along. All of a sudden, they started getting hits off him. And he's had this problem a few times this year, at least, maybe 4 or 5 starts, where they get to him in the 4th and 5th innings, where he just barely has enough pitches to win a game. I think they need to start looking at what are they throwing these hitters. They might be giving away their pitches without even knowing it. He's a fastball slider pitcher. But what he started doing recently, did his last start, he is using his sinker and slider more. Those are his best pitches. But what I think he needs to do is also change the location. Pitch them inside. Get them off the plate.
Yeah.
Case in point, our new starter yesterday, who I'll talk about in a few minutes, he pitched inside to the Mariner hitters. We need to do that a little bit more. We need to pitch inside. We need to change speeds on the slider, change speeds on the curveball, and get them off the plate. And I think that's something that Jeremy Hefner has to sit down and look at in film, because I think too many of these hitters are used to seeing the Met pitchers pitch the same way. And the sequence is not going to work if you do it too much. You have to mix it up. Now, maybe early in the game, maybe he throws mostly sinkers, sliders, the first 2-3 innings. After that, I would suggest mixing it up completely.
Yeah.
Pitch inside, pitch up in the strike zone occasionally. Let them see different levels of how you want to pitch. Because I think if you don't do that, hitters get hip to it, and they start figuring out what you're going to throw and where you're going to throw it. And watch the Seattle Mariner pitchers, case in point, one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. One of the reasons they're really good, they throw strikes most of the time. They get ahead of you. Then you can throw whatever you want.
Yeah.
But you have to be careful when you're a new starting pitcher. They are always watching what you're doing, and your sequence is very important. So I think we have to do a little more work behind the scenes to see what's going on with our pitchers.
Yeah.
They have the stuff. Holmes definitely does. Kodai Senga has it. Peterson has it. But Minaya to some extent has it, although with his problem with his arm, we're not sure how long he'll hold up. But we have to work a little bit more diligently on how we set up these hitters.
Yeah.
So I think I would say Jeremy Hefner, you and Mendoza and your pitchers need to sit down and discuss how you are pitching these hitters.
And now Nolan McLean. I mean, that's one of the best pitching performances I've seen.
Yes.
Pretty much all season.
Yeah. I mean, you started watching the Mets in the early 70s before I did.
Right.
And we know the name Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan,
Well,
yeah.
This is Nolan McLean.
McLean.
And I'll tell you what, he is probably the best pitcher outside of Matt Harvey when he came up, who really figured it out in his first outing.
Oh, yeah.
This guy only allowed 2 hits in 5 1/3 innings, struck out 8, walked 4, and was calm as anybody I've seen pitch in years.
I've never seen anybody pitch that calmly in a long time. I mean, he was
parents were there yesterday.
He was like calm, cool, collected. Oh, and then the way he threw that double play,
that
the
was
second
about
base.
to say that.
He
made a play behind his back on a ball that was banged up the middle that you swore was going through. He flagged it down, whipped his glove around, backhanded it, caught it, and he didn't overthrow it. Took his time, lobbed it over to Lindor. He fired it to first, double play, out of the inning.
Yeah.
That changed the whole game, because if Seattle had gotten a base hit then, who knows how long he would have lasted.
Yeah.
But I give Nolan McLean a lot of credit. This guy is everything that he was advertised to be. 95 to 97 with the fastball up and in, jamming a lot of those hitters, hard slider, good curveball, and changeup. This is a guy who I believe will not have too many bad outings.
No.
He seems like he understands how to pitch, and he enjoys doing it. And he looks like a guy that will be a huge asset for the Mets down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
The Mets do have some really good young starting pitchers.
Interesting. Yes.
I think the next one for us to watch is not Sprout, although he's very good. I think the guy Jonah Tong. This guy has just been promoted to AAA. He was a high school pitcher. The other two, Sprout and McLean, were college pitchers. This guy Jonah Tong is electric.
Yeah.
He might be up here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He is ready also. His velocity is similar to this guy, and I'm very interested to see it. I saw a clip of this guy. He has a mean fastball that dropped out of the sky. It looks like a splitter.
Ooh.
It's filthy. And he's got a good slider, and he's confident. That's what I want to see the Met pitchers be. Confident in what you do, challenge the hitters, pitch inside, up in their face occasionally. You know why? A fastball that's 96, 98 will strike people out a lot more if you show it up in their face. I think a lot of pitchers could utilize that pitch better if they would throw it when they're ahead in the count.
Yeah.
Don't let them see it right away. Wait until you got 2 strikes and then blow it right by them down the pipe upstairs.
Right. Well, hopefully, like I said, the Mets will continue to hold on to their lead, and boy, do they need it. They need it as many wins as they can.
The Mets have lost games in every conceivable and inconceivable form in the last month, as much as I've ever seen. I can't believe Helsley's the one that angers me the most.
Oh, yeah.
This guy came in to the major leagues. They said he throws harder than Edwin Diaz. Okay, he throws 100 miles an hour. I don't see him striking people out. They're ripping into his fastball. He had 49 saves 2 years ago. Where are they now?
Yeah.
He's been garbage for the Mets. 4 outings, he's given up runs. Rogers is better, but Rogers, to me, needs to find ways to fool hitters. He's not going to blow the ball by you. He's 85, 86 miles an hour tops because he throws underhand. But what he needs to do, get ahead and get people to swing at stuff out of the strike zone, down in the dirt. Come inside on them. Challenge them. But use your intelligence to do it. You don't throw that hard. But Helsley is a disaster. And I'm telling you right now, as a Met fan, I want him out of here at the end of the season. They can easily get by with what they have without him.
Right.
He has been a total disaster.
Yeah. Well, enough for the Mets. Meanwhile, the Yankees swept their series against the Cardinals in St. Louis, beating them 8-4. They're 3.5 games ahead of the Cleveland Guardians in the final wild card spot at 67 and 57. How did their trading deadline acquisitions compare with that of the Mets?
I never thought you'd ask that. You'll probably be surprised who's been their best closer of the 4 they have. It's David Bednar. That's a pitcher that I personally wanted the Mets to get from Pittsburgh. This guy has been amazing. He has 5 out saves twice already for this team.
Wow.
And he did it with the bases loaded against Texas and got out of the inning without them scoring. He has been a revelation in every sense of the word for the Yankees. They got this guy Doval from the Giants. He's been getting whacked around. He may have been a closer there, but I'm sorry to tell you, it's not happening here. He's been terrible. They have relievers, and they sent one of them to AAA. That's how bad he was. A guy from Colorado, this guy's last name is Bird. He was terrible. He only 1 outing out of 5 he wasn't scored on. He was sent to AAA. So the Yankees are doing it with an incredible turnaround from 2 pitchers. Devin Williams, who a lot of Yankee fans probably want to see go at the end of the year, has pitched much better lately. Luke Weaver, who had a stretch where he wasn't pitching well, is starting to get it all back. So those 2, with the phenomenal pitching of David Bednar, is part of the reason they've turned it around. And also, let me say this. The Atlanta Braves, a team that the New York Mets cannot beat at all, has been hot as hell. They swept the Cleveland Guardians. So thank you. For those of you who are Yankee fans, I'm sure you're saying now, thank you, Atlanta Braves. You made it easier for us to get that last spot. This Braves team is an absolute bitch to deal with. And Mets are going to face them again very soon.
Next weekend.
Right. They were here in New York, and I believe they won 2 out of 3 from us.
Yes, they did.
And I believe the time before that, they swept us.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here to tell Met fans, don't think it's going to be easy.
Mm-mm.
This Atlanta Brave team, if they had all their starters, I'm talking Sale, Schwellenbach, Strider, who's only pitched half a year, when they are completely healthy, as they will be next year, they will be back in the wild card picture. And the Mets are going to have to get better as a team because now you have to worry about the Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
They are coming to life.
Oh, yes, they are.
And I'll tell you what,
Yes.
next season, it won't be the Phillies, Mets, and Braves. It will be the Phillies, Mets, Braves, and Marlins. 4 teams. That's going to be an absolute war.
Yes,
so
indeed.
We are going to need everybody we have. Thank you, Mr. David Stern. Remember that Pete Alonso needs to be signed.
That's right. Steve and I were at the Jets-Giants preseason game at MetLife Stadium last night, and unfortunately for Jets fans like us, they got whipped 31-12.
Yes, they did.
Steve, what stood out for you about the game last night?
I'll tell you what. First of all, Justin Fields, who I understand is an upgrade to a degree with his speed and ability to move in the pocket. Good for him on that level. But here's the problem with Justin Fields. In his entire career, he's never been known as an accurate passer. That's a huge problem because while the Jets have a very good running game, and I believe you're going to see Braylon Allen and you're going to see Breece Hall run the ball extremely well. They do have a good wide receiver in Garrett Wilson. I believe they're going to have a second wide receiver. I believe his name is Arian Smith, who has to learn to catch the ball, but he has great speed. But here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
If this quarterback does not improve his level of play, I think the Jets will have another bad season.
Oh, boy.
He has to get to a point where we can trust him to drop dinks and dunks to the wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
But what we cannot do is plan on him throwing deep and accurately as the Giants did to us yesterday.
By the way, Justin Fields, Justin Fields was just 1 for 5 for 4 yards.
He was deplorable yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
He really was. I didn't see the game that they had against the Packers. He must have been incredibly good that game.
Yeah.
But as good as he was that game is as bad as he was last night.
Adrian Martinez of the three quarterbacks used had the best,
Yes.
even though he did have an interception, 12 for 24 for 114 yards. Brady Cook was the other quarterback. He got the Jets' only touchdown, 6 for 11, 74 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions.
In fairness to the Jets,
Yes.
they're missing their backup quarterback, which is Tyrod Taylor.
Yes.
I think they would have scored more points had he been able to come in the game.
Yeah.
He is a very reliable quarterback, and he can throw the ball extremely well.
Yeah.
But the Jets really have to improve, and their defense was not very good last night either,
Tell me about
to
it.
say the least. So Aaron Glenn has every right to be annoyed at what he saw last night. This team, while they have a good running game, there are a lot of areas they need to straighten up before opening day.
Now, as for the Giants, Jackson Dart had a great night. 14 for 16, 137 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception, 5 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown.
Yes. Jackson Dart, if this is what the Giants have, very soon, I'm saying this now to those of you who like Russell Wilson, he may get the job to start very soon.
Yes.
I think
I was very impressed with him.
He's very impressive. He's confident. He's smart. He knows how to run the offense. I understand the first game you don't see the best defenses. You basically see the vanilla defenses the first, maybe second exhibition game. So we have to see how he does against tougher defensive competition. But what we have seen is he has a sense of what he's doing. And it looks like he's catching on quickly.
Yeah.
Now, Russell Wilson, who had one great play in the game, as they refer
the
to it,
80-yard pass.
the moonshot.
Moonshot.
He threw an 80-yard, and it was an amazing pass, an 80-yard bomb for a touchdown. So for those who don't think he doesn't have the arm, he still does. What he may not have is as much mobility as he had years ago. He can still move in the pocket, but he's got the ability to throw deep. And that will help the Giants a lot because we have not had a decent NFL quarterback We're not talking Daniel Jones. He was far from that. We're talking about maybe back to the days of Eli Manning or maybe Kurt Warner. The Giants have not had somebody who can wind up and fire the ball downfield like that.
By the way, Russell Wilson was 4 for 7, 108 yards, no touchdowns, but that one interception.
Yeah, he did throw an interception near the end zone. They were driving. He threw an interception right near the end of the first half.
Yeah.
That was the only mistake he made in the game.
Yeah.
But this Jackson Dart looks like he's on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot depends on how the Giants start the season.
Mm-hmm.
If the Giants are 4-1, let's say after 5 games, they might continue.
And that's
asking a lot.
That's
if you know their
asking
schedule.
a heck of a lot.
It is. And if they're 4-1, let's say, or 3-2 after 5 games, I would suggest they stay with Russell Wilson a little longer. But what I'm expecting, because of the tough schedule they have, to be honest with you, I think maybe they win 1 game out of the first 5, which means in game 6, it may be time to go to Jackson Dart because he really looks like he's ready for this. I know the backup quarterback, Jameis Winston, said, while he looks very good now, let's see how he does against the tougher defenses. And I agree with him on that.
He was 6 for 11 for 110 yards, by the way.
He was terrific. He was very good.
He was good. Yeah.
Very good. The Giants really haven't had that kind of quarterback play in years.
Yeah.
And they really showed they have ability to do the job. And I got news for you as far as the Jets go. Next year, they might be looking for a top 10 quarterback in the draft because Justin Fields only has 2 years on his contract.
Yeah.
And what I've seen of him so far, I am not impressed one bit.
Oh, boy.
It is time for the Jets to think very seriously as of right now to look through the colleges and see who's available because you're going to need a good quarterback in the near future.
That's for sure. For Steve Ferguson, I'm Pedro Hazel Jr. saying thanks for joining us. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. The internet address is youtube.com/@PedroFergie Sportscorner. That's all one word. youtube.com/@PedroFergie Sportscorner. All one word.
Pedro, one quick word.
Yes.
The last thing we should mention here, part of the reason the Mets might have a chance to hold on to the wild card spot, we found out today, Zach Wheeler, former Met pitcher, the ace of the Phillies staff, has a blood clot in his right shoulder.
Oh,
and they are now saying they don't know when he's going to be able to pitch. And Nola, their number 2 pitcher, just came back today.
Aaron
Nola was lit up for 6 runs and 7 hits in 2 innings.
Ooh.
So while the Phillies did win today 12-9, I have news for the Phillies. If you lose Zach Wheeler for any length of time, we got a shot to catch up to you.
Yeah, but the Mets got to do their part.
They certainly do.
Again, thanks for joining us. If you want to subscribe, youtube.com/@PedroFergie Sportscorner, all one word. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, guys. Go Mets.